Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker, and today we're going to talk about how millennials trash dating for absolutely everyone. It's a fun article that was written over on Evie.com. I like using Evie because there are ladies writing the articles, so that way you can't hate on me for just having a toxic man's view. Quickly, I want to address some of your concerns because I posted a video earlier today saying I am leaving YouTube, and here is why. And within, I don't know, maybe the first 30 minutes, a lot of people are like, wow, dude, see you later. I guess I can't find your content anymore, and I really enjoyed your channel. I told you guys, first, always remember, look before you leap. In other words, slow down a little bit and maybe hear what's coming. I am going to be here on YouTube for another 30 or 60 days or maybe another couple of months while I transition over to rumble.com and betterbachelor.locals.com. So my content is still going to be here for you. You will still be able to enjoy it. However, it is important you watch that video of why I'm leaving YouTube because I think you're not understanding the concept here. So in a few videos a little while ago, I said I'm going to stay on YouTube until they kick me off, until they censor and remove me, and I'm staying here to fight. What you don't understand now is what YouTube is saying, and what is important is that YouTube and Google and PayPal and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Verizon and all these other things. What they're saying is if we decide to remove you from one thing, you get added to a database where we may remove you from everything. This may leak into banking. I mean, PayPal does have some banking. So it's no longer, oh, I'll just stay here on YouTube until they mark me as I don't want you on YouTube anymore. It's that if they decide to not mark me, if they decide to mark me as we don't like you on YouTube, that may cover everything across the web. And so if you guys use the same email on your Reddit account and you put in something that the moderators decide to flag a certain way, that may mean you can't use that same email for Twitter and Facebook and PayPal and email and logins, and you don't understand how deep this goes. And right now they're talking about only doing it to really bad people, but if you watch my other video, it's going to affect you completely. So either make a separate email for each social media thing or each banking thing that you do, or you will face getting flagged on one thing and off you go. And if some of you make a comment and you say, hey, Joker removed my video comment, I don't remove comments, that's YouTube's algorithm saying you said a word we don't like, we're automatically removing you. Well, if they do that, they may automatically remove you and then add you to this database. And all of a sudden you go to log in Gmail one day or on Twitter or Facebook or your banking or whatever, and all of a sudden you're non-personed. You won't have access to any of your accounts. This is where this is heading. So I think it's probably going to take a little while for them to implement this. That is why I'm still over here on YouTube. And once it kind of gets its implementation, I will only be over on rumble.com/betterbachelor, all one word. I think that's working for me, although I don't have any views over there yet because I just uploaded the I'm quitting video over there like 30 minutes ago. Or you can find me on betterbachelor.locals.com. The reason why I'm supporting locals the most is because they have said they will not ever participate in this stuff. If I want to live stream, no problem. You want to curse during that live stream? No problem. You want to play, you want to have background music that is copyright stuff, no problem. Unlike YouTube, that'll remove you. You want to do streaming like on Twitch, on locals, no problem. You want to have a movie playing in the background and you roast it live on air, no problem. I can do everything over on locals. I'm not going to stay on YouTube longer than I need to see if I can get the majority of you over there following me. And if you don't, you don't. That's okay. But I'm giving you plenty of time to make the move, like a month or two. So please stop worrying that you're not going to have content to me anymore. And if you want free content and you can't support me over at locals, go to rumble.com/betterbachelor, all one word. You'll probably see it in the graphic next to me that I've updated. So guys, it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm just shifting platforms. But I'm not going to support YouTube because of what they're doing. They're censoring free speech. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, a Tory, a Labor, a left, a right. I'm against authoritarianism. And when they start taking away free speech and they say you must follow our guidelines of what you can say, or we're going to add you to a database where we're going to remove you from the internet, that is authoritarian. Authoritarianism. I am against that. That is why I'm leaving YouTube. Period. If you haven't seen my other video, please go watch it. You'll understand why. Moving on. So millennials have trashed dating for everyone. Let's read this article. We'll talk about it a little bit. I did that little preamble there instead of the dating profile of the day. Did millennials finally kill flirting? This is from just a couple days ago. And this is written by a Julie Mastrine. She says, many women dream about how they will finally meet the man who becomes their husband. Well, we know we don't do that anymore, don't we, gentlemen? No more marriage. They think up numerous romantic scenarios. Maybe he'll approach me while I'm sipping a latte in a small coffee shop. Maybe he'll strike up a conversation with me in an elevator. Or he'll spot me in the street and not be able to resist saying hi. He'll approach, we'll flirt, exchange numbers, and the rest will be history. But in the modern age, it's just not so. Young people increasingly meet online, and the millennial destruction of traditional social mores has pretty much killed flirting. I haven't read all the way down through this, so I may accidentally say something that they talk about, but women have said, if he flirts with me, if he talks with me, if he looks at me, if he approaches me and I don't want it, he's harassing me. He's giving me a hard time. It's unwanted. They make fun of the guy. They shoot him down. They whip out their video and make a TikTok of it. They go on to Reddit and say something horrible about the guy. And they've said, don't do this. This is bad. And so young men, or they get falsely accused of something. So young men, over the course of the last couple of years, while this has really gone crazy, because of the also me and all that other stuff, guys have said, okay, we got it. I know now maybe you're not like that, but you know what? I don't want to risk it. I don't want to hassle it. I'm not going to talk to you in person anymore. I'm not going to flirt. I'm not going to ask you out. I'm not going to say anything to you because I don't know your intentions, and your intentions may be bad, ladies. And you may call me a bad name or shame me or something else. So guys have stopped because that's what women said they wanted us to do. Stop hassling us. Don't wolf whistle. Don't wink at me. So they continue on. Gone are the days of meeting in the park, at a dance, or even at the bar, really. Men just don't approach women to flirt these days, and it's largely feminism's fault. But here's something women can do about it. How we killed flirting. The death of flirting occurred under the perfect storm of the also me, campus false allegations and campus claims, street harassing, hysteria growing in feminist ideology, and a newfound obsession with consent. Let me say this about the campus problems. Here in the United States, they have Title IX. Title IX has gotten twisted all around to now, if you're a young man and you flirt with a girl on the campus, she can go to a board and say that you harassed her, and that board will say, okay, you're out of college. That's without any criminal investigation. That's without even a lot of times a man being able to fight for his own cause or argue his defense. It's just, well, we got to believe the girls, you're out. What does that tell men? It says to men, man, if I get this wrong, I may still get $100,000 of college debt, but I can't finish my degree. And then I'm sure this goes on some academic board or some list, and if he wants to join another college, he may be told no. That's why the campus is done. And in the workplace and in everything else, women have just said, if I don't like you, I'm going to get you in trouble. And for a phone number, a guy's like, this is just not worth the risk to me, just maybe to get her phone number. During the Also Me, the media and social media was flooded with stories of women retelling instances of misconduct. But what started out as tales of genuinely immoral behavior soon morphed into something else. Women were claiming misconduct when a man was simply approaching her to signal his interest, even if he had done so rather awkwardly or misread her and failed to comprehend her lack of interest. The idea was that he had crossed a line he shouldn't have. Exactly. Suddenly, phrases unwanted advance, unwanted hug, unwanted kiss were everywhere. Despite the behavior being branded as unwanted, in many instances the women hadn't made it clear that she wasn't interested in the first place. Women seemed to be expecting men to read their minds and claimed zero responsibility for their role in holding a boundary. Then they branded the man as a predator. Now, many of these women probably genuinely believed it was the case that they were harassed. It's simply because they have expanded the definition to include basically everything at this point. In the past, something was only harassment if a boundary had been clearly established or communicated, and then someone repeatedly transgressed it. Not anymore. Now the mere expression of interest can be considered a potential violation. And that's before you've even talked. So if you go into a coworker's booth or something and they were nice to you previously, and you say, "Hey, Jennifer, would you like to go get a cup of coffee after work?" And she says, "Oh, how dare you?" There was no prior warning. Now, if she had said, "No, I'm not interested, thank you very much," and then he asks her maybe out for drinks another time, and she said, "Look, I really only see you as a coworker or a friend. I'm not into you. I'm not interested, thank you." There's your line in the sand. That's where they've said, "Hey, I'm laying the ground rules. I don't see you this way. Please don't." Then if the guy continued on, then I get it. Then he's being a creeper and a weirdo. But when a guy has never broached the subject with a woman and he's like, "Hey, you want to go grab a cup of coffee?" And she says, "No, I'm not interested. I don't see you that way." It's not further. It's, well, he should have known. And he's in trouble for even coming up to talk to me in the first place. Again, ladies, maybe 100% of you didn't set these rules, but enough women have put this kind of rule out there that is now in the popular zeitgeist. This is what is it is what it is now. Well, when you ladies that don't ascribe to this, when you ladies don't ascribe to this, and now guys don't ask you out anymore, it's because men don't know. Men don't know the difference anymore. And this is why we men now are either on the dating apps or we can't ask anybody out at all. And what happens on the dating apps? The reason why men are there, and I think they explain this, the reason why the reason why men are there is because they know these women are into dating. Now, of course, that doesn't mean you're going to have any more of a chance to get a shot at it, but that's why so many people are navigating to the dating apps, which means dating in the real world for anyone of any age is now done, because for anyone of any age trying to do it in and about and around regular life may be penalized. They continue on here. Let's see. Men are now too afraid to approach. After years of being told that unwanted advances equals harassing, men simply don't want to risk approaching women in the real world for fear of being accused of a dark motive later. Before this sterilized culture emerged, we would naturally send signals, some subtle and some overt, that acted as clues for us to determine if someone were romantically interested. Maybe we caught their eye across the room and held their gaze. Maybe we smiled at them on the bus. This would be the signal for a man to make a more overt move, approaching us to chat or ask for our number. But why would a man make a more explicit move or start the flirtatious dance at all if he fears he'll be rebranded as someone sinister just for doing so? Instead, men now approach only where it's safe, on a dating site, where a woman's mere presence signal openness to being approached. How very safe and tidy, but it also takes a lot of the excitement and spontaneity out of life. The other thing is, too, it gets a lot of women that men swipe on them or men try to match with them, and the women aren't interested in them. It also means that a guy's got to do swipe after swipe after swipe because there is no visual cue. He's just guessing. And he says, "Hey, you know what? She's kind of cute. I'll swipe on her." And lastly, because of this, it doesn't, it used to be fortune favors the bold. That if you're a guy like me, I'm not shy. I have no problems with that. I'll go up and talk to any woman about anything. I'll chit-chat. If I get some signals, I'll flirt. Well, that no longer happens out in the wild because men are not developing the skills to flirt. They're not learning the skills that a woman might put their way to let them know, "Hey, maybe you can talk to me." So now guys are just not understanding how to do this anymore. They're not understanding the signals that mean it's okay. They're not understanding how to flirt and have a little bit of game, and they feel a little bit awkward and they feel nervous. And so what they're doing is they're going to the dating apps or they're not dating at all. This also leaves the women on the dating apps getting piles and piles of validation and attention. So they can pick from the best of the best, and the rest of the kind of average guys lose out even to average girls. They say feminism sought to shift the power dynamics between men and women, and shift them it did, right into total sterility. We're now firmly held inside a bubble wrap culture in which women view the mere expression of interest as a potential violation, and men are too afraid to make a move for fear of being branded creepy. She says how women can bring back flirting. The saddest thing about the death of flirting is that it's eradicated the air of potential romance and hopeful expectation that a young woman could feel when she leaves her house. If men weren't so afraid to approach us, the right man for us could always be just around the corner, lending our experiences an air of mystery and magic. Instead, that hope is never present. We find ourselves swiping on dating apps instead. Here's what I love about this. Do you know what that paragraph basically has said? I miss getting attention. I miss getting social validation. I want men to flirt and look at me and maybe ask me out. Not because I necessarily want to go out with them, but it makes me feel good that men pay attention to me and ask me because it makes me feel pretty and attractive. Again, it really may not have much to do with a woman going out with a guy because they can go on a dating app and get thousands of matches. She doesn't like it because she misses the validation and the attention that she used to get from men that no longer give her attention. It's your own doing. So now if you're like, oh, I wish people found me more attractive and flirted with me, wrong answer. You don't get that validation anymore because you ruined it. She said, if we want to revive a culture where it's okay to flirt, the onus is really on women to make it clear to men that we're okay with being approached in public, that we're either going to accept their offer or politely decline, not brand them as a creeper if we're not interested. Men, of course, also need to clearly read our signals, whether they're signals of interest or disinterest, and be willing to go away when we say no. What's the meaning of this paragraph? You come and ask me. You come and make your intentions known to me, and then I'm going to judge you whether I'm interested or not. It's still in her realm. It's still her decision, but she's saying maybe I don't get enough suitors, or the suitors I'm getting are not the guys that I want it to be. So men, please make yourselves available to me. Please come talk to me. Please read my signals that I'm throwing out to you, because I want you to talk to me, and then I'll determine whether it's okay or not if we actually go out. So in other words, she sees a Chad or somebody that she likes or thinks is attractive. She throws him eye signals and verbal cues, and she's making it known that she's interested, and he walks away and she doesn't get a shot. And she's disappointed. She wants you to read her signals and come over and talk to her, and then give her the opportunity to make the decision or not. Sorry, ladies, it's just not happening anymore. It's just not going to happen. You ruined that. And now on top of that, even if that weren't the case, we're tired of the ones always, you want us to be traditional and ask you out, and you want us to take the gamble of maybe getting shot down. Women have no real idea of how hard it is going out there, putting yourself out there, and then getting completely shot down. So women, you want equality? You go out and ask men out. You go out and try to talk to Chads, the good-looking guys that are tall and attractive. And then when you get turned down and you feel bad about yourself and you feel about this big, now you know what it feels like to be a guy. That's true equality, and that's what we guys are into now. So you go ahead and make the move. She said, feminism has told women that we lack power, which is a lie. The reality is women are alluring, and as such, we hold a lot of power. Masculine energy pursues, while feminine energy responds and receives. Being on the receiving end of romantic advances mean we have all the power to say yes or no. We're the gatekeepers of romantic encounters. That's right. And men are saying, no, thank you, not interested. We're tired of giving you power. We're tired of you wanting us to be traditional. In other words, asking you out, planning the date, making the phone call, paying for it, chasing you. We're tired of doing that. When what do you bring to the table? Nothing. No feminine energy. What do we get when we capture you? Nobody. Nothing special, at least for a lot of you. Now, women that are more traditionalists and say, well, I'm a good cook and I'm a cleaner and I have my own income and I'm an independent woman and I'll pay my own way. I just want to be a part of your life. Now we're talking. Now we got something to talk about. But when a guy has to show up with all these traditional values and chase you, and when he finally catches you, he goes, meh, she doesn't really have that much to offer. That's why men are out. All right, let's jump on to the dating profile of the day. All right, this is a picture. I forgot to blur her face, so maybe I'll do that in post-production. She's 28. She says, if you don't like big girls with an attitude problem, then there's really nothing here for you. Swipe left. Well, I'm done. Bye-bye. You don't get to be, you can be a big girl. That's fine. There are big guys out there. Everybody has their own challenges. But the minute you say you have an attitude problem, and if I don't like it, then I should go away, you betcha. You're darn right I'm going to go away very quickly. You don't get to have your own things going on in your life and still have an attitude. I don't get to say I'm 5'6", and if you don't like it, then and you have an attitude problem with it, go away. Or if I say I'm short and I have an attitude problem, but you need to accept that, no, we don't work like that. We're not jumping through hoops, ladies. No more. She says, I'm an emotionally unstable princess awaiting to upgrade to a queen. Psychotic. Just so we're clear, I'm fatter in person. I would be skinnier, but I can't stop eating. I have 2 mini humans, could be an alcoholic if I put my mind to it, the hottest of all messes. Relationship status is hugely complicated. That means she's still pining after an ex, trying to sleep with an ex, or still sleeping with an ex, or sleeping around. That's probably what one of those means. If you're going to ask about it in the first message, don't expect a reply. Jen's info, it's complicated. This is what I'm talking about. This entitlement, this you wanting to chase us even though you have this baggage and this weird issue and this attitude, we're done with that. We're moving on. We've got better things to do. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, links are below as always. If you, best way you can support me is like, comment, share, subscribe. Join me over on rumble.com/BetterBachelor. That may change at some point. I'm just getting Rumble set up as of like an hour ago. A better choice, join me over at betterbachelor.locals.com. That way you can become part of the community. I'll be doing live streams. I'll be doing live streams of movies, live streams of games. We'll be having chat functions. We'll be doing special events. I'll have unedited videos over there. It is a madhouse. So join me over there. If you join as a supporter, you got lots of good stuff. Guys, that's it for me. Remember, we don't chase, we don't hassle, we don't look at, we don't go after these women because they've set the ground rules. And they want us to validate them by going after them. Look, if you have a genuine connection with a woman, shoot your shot if you're going to shoot it. Don't chase, don't fawn over them. And you know what? If you're not careful and you read their subtle cues wrong and you get it wrong, you're going to be in trouble. Just remember that.